Okay, so here are the rails, and here is our show.
Completely off. Completely gone today. What in the world? Derailed. Yay, you're here. Welcome to the CK and GK podcast. Let's get going.
It's Tuesday.
Hi, everyone. We're so glad you're here.
Welcome back, or welcome first time.
Yeah, this is our season 1 finale. This is episode 35. Can you believe that?
Finale.
It's exciting.
We're going to leave you on a cliffhanger.
Are we?
Yeah.
What's the cliffhanger? Oh, wait, we should wait.
Oh, you'll find out at the end of the show.
All right, intros. Go.
First off, welcome to CK and GK. We are the how-to show that is meant to save you the embarrassment that we had to endure. I am Jenny, and my co-host today has spent so much time working in TikTok that they are going to offer her benefits, including a 401k package.
Can you imagine? That'd be amazing. Oh, TikTok 401k package?
There'd be teenagers with investment portfolios all over the U.S.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. Well, I had to end it on a high note for you. Yeah, because this is Jenny. She's my favorite interpretive dancer, feminist, and overachiever. She's named after a canyon. Topanga Lawrence, everyone.
Oh my god!
Yay! From Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World. Love it.
Right.
Also, did you know Topanga's, you don't usually see Topanga's parents in that show, right?
Right. And she has like a lot of parents.
Yeah, she has her dad was played by 3 different people, and one of them was a monkey. One of them was Peter Tork from the Monkees.
People say we monkey around.
Oh my gosh, my mom used to make me do
but we're
that.
too busy being Topanga's daddy to get anybody down.
When my mom and I would walk through the park, we would do the monkey walk, right? Like the one leg.
Right.
Yeah.
The one leg and the other. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Definitely have done that.
For sure.
That was, kind of a way to entertain the kids, right? Like, oh, we're going to do the monkey walk. Mm-hmm. There was one time we were at a mall in Anchorage, Alaska.
Okay.
And my mom says, let's do the bunny hop. And so we're doing the bunny hop. Mm-hmm. My dad's not doing it. Okay. 3 kids and, a woman in her mid-30s doing the bunny hop. And finally, because my dad wouldn't do it and my mom is who she is and has, instilled that in all of us, starts teasing my dad. Dad can't bunny hop. Dad can't bunny hop. So now all 4 of us are chanting through this mall, Dad can't bunny hop. And finally he does, of course, right? By himself in the middle of the mall.
Yeah.
And it's one thing when it's a mom and her kids, right? Like you can see clearly mom's trying to entertain the children. Mm-hmm. It's another when it's a man in his mid-30s bunny hopping down the middle of the mall.
Yeah, doing dad things for sure. He's like, your dad is like a very dad.
Oh, my dad's coming up later in this episode. I have a great story about him.
Oh,
it's so good.
All right. Well, let's go to it then. Let's do our water cooler sports talk. Ready?
All right, here we go. So, on ESPN, they brought back the Ocho, which you may remember was originally shown in Dodgeball, the movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it was ESPN 8, the Ocho. Well, every so often, ESPN does a little window of the Ocho where they put funny sports on TV.
Right. That was the whole point.
And so, right. It was like, where are you going to put on ESPN 8?
Right.
Dodgeball. Yeah. Well, they cover the funniest things. This past weekend, we watched the World Knife Throwing Championship.
Oh my gosh.
You get sucked into these things, right? Like
you do,
you're
clearly.
Watching it.
You guys.
I do. I spent the entire weekend in bed one time watching the Big 12 gymnastics tournament.
I can get into that.
So this knife throwing, right? I picked a guy. Turns out he goes to the finals. So now we're all on the edge of our seats is he going to win? He didn't, but I won't use his name in case someone wants to go back and watch. I don't want to give away the ending. One of the things that showed up on the Ocho was sent to me by one of our listeners.
Okay.
Shout out to Crystal. She says, you have to cover this on your show. They had an Excel battle.
Wait, hold on.
A spreadsheet off, if you will.
I feel like I need to watch this because my life is in spreadsheets
There's
right now.
a link. There's a link. I'm going to put it up in the show notes.
Yes.
People can watch the coverage. They're calling it an esport, like video gaming.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
But Excel. They had an all-star battle. And it was televised on the Ocho.
Can you tell me what kinds of things they were doing in this battle? So were they using like obscure commands that nobody knows how to use?
They are like doing financial modeling.
Oh, that's boring. I'm actually kind of interested.
Okay. It's really funny. You can see their screen, but you can also see like a little cap of their face.
It's like the World
kind of
Series
like
of
if you were
poker.
watching.
Like how you can see their cards and how you can see their faces.
Right,
how
right.
Funny.
Yes. It is good. It is funny. Thanks, Crystal, for bringing this to our attention. There's another link that's to the Ocho itself and the list of the different sports that they were covering. Belt sander races, the slippery stairs. I mean, it's just... yeah.
The things that people come up with to...
Pickleball championship.
Well, pickleball is like... That's like something that everyone's into right now, right? So like that would make sense. You know, axe throwing. Like those kinds of things I understand. But like belt sander races and slippery stairs... Like,
I mean, I feel like I would be good at slippery stairs. My first job in high school was as a tour guide at Natural Bridge Cavern, Texas' largest and most spectacular underground attraction. And we had trails that were both steep and wet. We couldn't say slippery because that would make people think that they were slippery and then they would fall and then they would sue us. Oh. So we had to say, please use the handrail. The trails are steep and wet.
Interesting.
But I mean, I mastered those, so I probably would be very good at slippery stairs.
Oh, goodness gracious. This is all just, how do you find out that this is what you're good at? How do you decide then that you're going to become, air quotes, professional at this? Like what, the things that people come up with to entertain themselves. Like, right. I mean, I guess that's how all sports are born, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to bounce it across the floor and then I'm going to hang an apple basket up here and then I'm going to try and put the ball into the apple basket and now I have basketball.
It was a peach basket.
Oh, sorry. My bad. You didn't come to
and
us
if
for
you
facts,
ask,
folks.
If you ask the Maya, it was a stone hoop and they invented it years before.
Well, Hialeah is different, though. I loved watching that on those videos when, you know, you'd be studying Central America in like 6th grade and you got to see them play like a hardcore game. And then you realize that they, you know, sacrifice the loser. Maybe not games like that. I'm not so into those, but
no.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was good at it, I wouldn't mind.
No, that's fair. If you're good at it, it's great. Ready for my first funny sports story? Okay, so
funny sports story.
There are big personalities in football. So I'm going to just preface this story by saying that. All right. The other thing is I'm going to say that there is a slang term for white people in what I'm about to say, but I'm reading this quote because it's hysterical. Okay. So there is a man who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Bucks, if you will. His name's Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown...
He's crazy. Anyway, okay.
Anyway,
right.
So this man's name is Antonio Brown. He plays for the Buccaneers, and this is his hysterical quote that has just been circulating these days. Okay. My biggest regret in my career doesn't involve calling my GM a cracker, which is true. He did do that. Or showing up to Raiders camp late in a hot air balloon with frozen feet. Also true. Or throwing rocks at that UPS driver. And it definitely doesn't involve taking my shirt off and doing a victory lap around the Jets stadium mid-game while throwing up deuces. My biggest regret is that I'll never get to see me, Antonio Brown, play a game live. Sure, I can watch the game afterwards, but I can't imagine what that was like for you all to see something like that. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks. And that is Antonio Brown on his biggest regret. Now, here's my favorite part of this. Red Rocks is where you want to be to hear live music. It's just beautiful, and the sound is incredible, and it's just an experience to go hear a great show at Red Rocks. I've been several times as, someone who grew up there.
Who'd you see?
I've seen lots of people there. I've seen Weezer there. I've seen the Goo Goo Dolls there. I've seen Coldplay there. I've seen, oh gosh, I'm going to be in so much trouble for not knowing the name of this band. Wilco. I've seen Wilco there.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen Willie Nelson there. Lots of people I've seen at Red Rocks, and it's always been a great show every time. The best part of this tweet to me, and this quote that Antonio Brown released about himself, one, it's hysterical that he actually did do all of these things, and he paid fines for all of these things that he did.
Yeah. No. He's nuts, though.
Right. Red Rocks.
I'm pretty sure it was him who quit mid-season last year.
Was it him? Oh, geez.
I think he's the one who just walked off the field, and they were like, dude, you can't quit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He doesn't regret that.
He's like, I didn't like the plays. I didn't like the plays that were being called.
Right.
I didn't want to be benched. And so he just quit mid-game.
Oh, gosh. This speaks volumes to the maturity that we're dealing with here. But anyway, I love whoever is running these social media accounts that respond to this kind of stuff, because Red Rocks answers with, that Jesus set was fire. And I completely lost my mind. Like watching the Beatles or Jesus perform at Red Rocks. Yeah, okay, that Jesus set was fire. Like, get out of here.
So good.
Like, whoever is running the
oh my God, when
he
did Love Thy Neighbor, I lost my mind.
He sang that song about loaves and fishes. It was so good.
Oh God, there was enough for everyone.
And then it rained, and the laser light show was shining on the rocks in the rain, and it was just so amazing. Which actually did happen during the Coldplay show that I went to, which was pretty cool. But no, the Jesus set was
Did the rain become wine?
No, it did not, because Coldplay can't turn water into wine. So congratulations to the Red Rocks social media account, because that was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready for a heart warmer?
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, you know that I love the Little League World Series.
Yes, I do.
Okay. We were just watching the softball Little League World Series. It was Maryland versus the Philippines. And, it's so cute. They interviewed the girls like, well, my favorite color is green. And that means it's just so cute.
Yeah. I like when they do the favorite songs from each of the boys, the little boys.
Right?
So cute.
See? Yeah. In the race to the series, there was a game between a Texas team and Oklahoma team. Mm-hmm. And the Texas pitcher threw a wild pitch and hit the Oklahoma batter in the head.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. It knocked his helmet off.
He went straight down. Mm-hmm. And you can even hear the umpire yell, oh my God.
Yeah. You can.
So everyone comes around and is looking at this little kid. I mean, these boys, they're like 12, 13, 14 years old, right?
They're young.
So looking at this boy, turns out he was able to get up. Everything was as okay as it can be when you get nailed in the head with a baseball. Right. Took his base.
Yes. I mean... you got to keep
those of you who listen to our baseball podcast, you know that if you get hit by a pitch, you get on base.
Now, to be clear, this ball hits him like right where the visor kind of meets the earpiece. So it hit him like it would have been the temple, honestly, like right at the temple. But because he had the helmet on, it was okay. It did knock his helmet like clean off his head. I mean, it took it up and down, and it's a pretty scary moment for sure. But he does shake it off, and he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. So he's standing on first, and it's time for the pitcher to do the same, shake it off, and face another batter. Well, he's standing there on the mound and just starts crying. Oh. Because he's 12.
And he hurts.
Right?
Oh my God, I'm going to start to cry in the air.
yeah.
sweet.
And so he nailed this kid in the head. You know, there's got to be rules about mound visits and all of this stuff. So he's standing there crying, like trying to get under control, reacting to everything that happened, hearing the umpire's voice in his head over and over again. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he's on his own on the mound.
So hard.
And the kid he hit leaves first base to go check on him, gives him a hug, and says, "It's okay."
Oh. Like, oh my, and like, the kid is like crying into his mitt. Like, it's just the sweetest little moment of sportsmanship and kindness and just like, I'm all right. Like, it's going to be okay. You know, you clearly didn't do it on purpose. It's baseball and sometimes that kind of stuff happens. But I saw this video and I think I cried for like a solid 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
The sweetest thing.
John and I were out and I was scrolling and I just gave it to him. I said, you need to read this article and be prepared to cry. It's so good. Now, here's the thing that I read in the article. When they were interviewing the Oklahoma batter, the one who got hit, he said, you know, my goal is just to be on SportsCenter one day.
Oh, you did it. Oh my God.
Right? You're going to be on SportsCenter for sure, man.
So
yeah.
sweet.
Don't worry. You're going to be on
Are
SportsCenter.
going to be on SportsCenter.
Right. And you're going to be on SportsCenter for the reason that every mother wants their son to be on SportsCenter because you are kind.
Right. You showed empathy and just, oh my goodness. And I mean, I actually got the video clip from my husband and he was like, watch that, like, you want to watch this. And I'm like, I'm sobbing. And he and he's like, I just am so impressed. And I was like, I'm proud of both of them and their parents. Their parents should be so proud that they raised those boys and they are doing the coaches should be so proud. Like, I mean, and I've heard some people like, well, why should the Texas East coach be proud? His pitcher showed that he was genuinely afraid for the safety of someone else. Like, that's
right.
It's okay to feel concerned for other people when you hurt them. Like, that's the right reaction that little boy had. And then for his like sweet little self to just come off base and go, hey man, I'm okay. Like, it was a very sweet, amazing thing to watch. And I loved that story. I'm really glad you shared it.
And these kids that are playing Little League, like, they are not getting ready for the majors.
No.
Okay? This is not like, oh, well, if you didn't play in the Little League World Series, then you're not going to make it as a major leaguer. And I think that if you were to poll major leaguers, most of them did not play in the Little League World Series. These are boys playing ball.
Right. This is, for some of them, this is like the only time they'll get to be showcased. Really sweet. Really, really fun to watch the Little League World Series. If you're not, I would highly recommend. Okay, here's my heartwarming story. Are you ready? We have to talk about Serena Williams. We have to.
Oh my gosh, what she said was so cool.
There's so much to unpack with what's going on with Serena Williams. First of all, she's the GOAT. Like, I can't. The number of Grand Slam titles. 23 Grand Slam titles. Like, she is unbelievable in how just prolific her career has been. Amazingly talented.
Can you name all 4 tournaments in the Grand Slam?
Can you? Do you know where they are?
French Open, Australian Open, Wimbledon, and the
U.S. Open.
U.S. Open.
And where is it played, Jenny?
In Queens.
Fitting, because Serena Williams is a queen. Anyway, so she's planning to retire. Kind of a big deal here is what she was saying about her retirement plans. One, she's saying things like, I can't do this forever. All athletes, age out of their sport because it's hard on your body and things like that.
Right.
Then she's saying, I want to focus on my family. I can't do that when I'm training all the time. And she has a daughter. And then she mentioned she might want to grow her family. And if she were a male, growing her family would be no issue. But since she's the one who would be carrying a child, it is more of a commitment, right? I mean, as someone who has had a child would know, it is a commitment to do that. But
my grandfather used to say bacon and eggs.
Yes.
Okay. The chicken is involved,
right,
but the pig is committed.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Understood. So there's that piece of it. So she makes a very important point about women in sports and what that commitment has to look like when a woman is of childbearing age, or when a person is of childbearing age. And then also she talks about her just emotions as she plays, and there have been some controversial moments with her where she's been angry and people have said, oh, she's an angry woman. And it's like, she's not an angry woman. That's not fair. People are allowed to be angry, and stereotyping, the angry black woman is completely inappropriate. But also, why is it that certain emotions are deemed feminine versus masculine? And I think she makes a really excellent point about just modeling what those emotions look like in sports from women, right? So we've seen controversial, things come up over and over again. There was the whole Brandi Chastain jersey removal from like 20 years ago, where she's like on the field in her sports bra. People are like, oh my God, that's not appropriate. And it's like, men play shirtless all the time. She's showing an emotion. She's excited. She didn't do anything wrong. And Serena showing emotions, not doing anything wrong, important here, right? So anyway, the quote that I want to read from her is, I'd like to think that thanks to me, women athletes can be themselves. They can play with aggression and pump their fists. They can wear what they want and say what they want and kick butt and be proud of it all. And I just love that. Congratulations to Serena Williams. And I'm going to keep following her. I love what she's doing and what she's about. And I just wish her all the best. But that's big news in sports right now, is Serena Williams saying goodbye to tennis.
Professionally.
Yes, professionally. She still loves it. I mean, she's been real open about that. When
I lived in Portland, you could still see Nancy Kerrigan skating at the mall.
You know what?
I don't think that she'll stop playing tennis.
No, I don't think she will
see
either.
her play.
That's funny that you say that, because Scott Hamilton lives in Colorado, and
he can do a backflip.
Huh? He can do
a backflip.
So can Saria Bonali. Why do I know these names? Oh. Anyway, Scott Hamilton.
Because he grew up in the 90s, and that's
what
we
all
did.
watched figure skating. And I didn't have cable, so I watched figure skating, and I freaking loved it. I'm not even ashamed.
And it used to come on like Sunday afternoons.
Or like Friday night. Like if I was too young to watch Dateline, so let's watch the U.S. skating championships. And Oksana Bayul is killing it out there.
Oksana Bayul! What a great name.
I loved that name. My goodness. Anyway, that said, Scott Hamilton.
Christy Yamaguchi. Oh, yeah. That was another one.
Never mind. That's not important. So Scott Hamilton actually still like skates at this sports arena, like in Denver proper. I was a kid and like, we would go. It's like a family sports place. Right. And, I was there one day with my job and I was like, and my boss was like, yeah, that's Scott Hamilton skating out there. That's why no one's allowed out there right now, because he's in there by himself. That was kind of cool.
That's amazing. Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah. All right. So it's no longer going to be Serena's obsession, but we have obsessions.
We do. Mm-hmm. My first obsession has 4 little legs and the tiniest little snout. We got a new puppy. Mm-hmm. So now we have a giant German Shepherd and a tiny little French Bulldog Boston Terrier mix.
She's so sweet.
She's so cute. She fits in my purse. I feel like Paris Hilton.
Oh, there's a 20-year ago throwback right there. Dogs and purses. Now all you need is just the jumpsuit, the velour jumpsuit, and you're set.
Oh my gosh. It says juicy across my butt.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a way for me to scare small children.
Mom, how come her butt is juicy? Did you hear the quote that Macaulay Culkin, it was a tweet that he wrote up that was like, juice is fruit blood. Discuss.
What? Yeah, it is.
He's right. Anyway, juicy across the butt, dog in the purse. Go.
Okay, so she's adorable. She's so cute. All puppies are cute, right?
Yes.
But she's like more cuter. But we showed a picture. This is the dog that we're going to get to my 3-year-old kid. And he looks at it, and you can see he's excited to get a new puppy. And then he looks at us both and says, wait a minute. Did the shepherd die?
Oh, no. Oh, my. No, honey. No. The dog didn't die.
That's how I'm going to deliver that news to him.
Here's a replacement puppy. Here you go. Oh, man. I mean, what did you say?
No, she's in the crate right now. You can go say hello to her. She's fine.
Oh, gosh. Poor kid.
We're just getting her a dog, so she'll have her own dog now.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man. All right. Well, mine's not nearly as cool as yours, but I do really love it. We've talked about this, I think, on the show before, but I finally ADHD impulse purchased a handheld scrubber for my grout. And
okay, is it like the drill bit?
No, it's like an actual
Okay.
it has like a telescoping handle so that I don't have to be like on the ground with any of it. Like it's better for my back. My back is a mess, so I couldn't do that. But
Got it.
yes, I bought it. No, I'm not ashamed. Last week, I had family coming from San Antonio, and so I was like, the floor is disgusting. I can't handle it. So I was going to start mopping, and then I was like, no, I can't handle it because my grout is supposed to be white, and it's gray, and it's driving me crazy. So I went and I got some cleaner. I actually used bleach because I was like, this is not going to come up with just like regular cleaner. So I used bleach, and I just went nuts on this grout, and my kitchen looks so good.
Oh my gosh. You know, I have a hack for that.
What is it?
To get your grout clean?
Okay.
You have to mix bleach with ammonia.
That is called mustard gas, and I am not going to do that in my house.
Right. It's super dangerous and causes cancer.
Do not do
But dude, the grout gets so clean.
Do not do this. Oh my God. If you're going to do it, open every single window. Okay. And when you get lightheaded, get
don't
it
do
out.
it.
No,
don't
do this.
No, don't do it. When I did it, I was like, man, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, of course you don't.
And the first person I told what I did, they're like,
mustard.
That's chemical warfare.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
No, don't do this. Oh my gosh. No, I just went hog wild on like the Clorox bleach spray. I just sprayed it in the grout, let it sit for like 10 seconds, and then like got my little brush a little bit wet, and then it was like scrubbing the whole thing, and it looks so much better. So I did like half the kitchen.
It's motorized?
Oh yeah, I'm not doing it by hand. Are you kidding me? I've done it by hand.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah, no, I should link it.
Yeah, post the link.
I'll link it in the show notes. And
I think I want that.
So that's coming. It was awesome. It could be
Is it a giant purchase?
It was less than $50.
Oh, I'm buying it. For sure.
And I think it comes in like 2 different colors, like gray and blue or whatever. Mine has like white with a blue, like twisty handle things.
Maybe I could bedazzle it.
Extra.
I'm not bedazzling my mop.
No. That's too much. We're not doing that. Oh, goodness. Do you have any other obsessions right now that I should know about?
Yes. I'm obsessed with magic candles. Okay. This is not like a type of candle. Right.
I'm obsessed with magic mushrooms, guys. And
magic. No. Okay. So it's the brand. Magic Candle brand.
Okay.
Candles.
Okay.
They are Disney scented.
Oh, Lord in heaven.
I know. And so John is like the Disney freak in our family. You know that. Like
No, I did not know.
Yes. He like follows all the blogs and gets updates on when new videos are released. Like, right. He loves Disney. He does.
Okay.
And not like all things Disney, right?
We're not talking like Mickey Mouse watch level loving Disney, right? We're talking
right. No.
Okay.
He loves Disney World.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. All right.
And it is a magical place.
Yes.
Anyhow, these candles are scented like Disney, and they're scented to match different things.
Okay.
So we got one that was Dole Whip. Well, that's not really hard to manufacture, right?
It's
pineapple and vanilla.
Yeah.
So that was easy. They have one that's churro scented.
Ooh.
Again, like you could buy a churro candle.
Yeah.
They have one that is Splash Mountain scented.
Does
Now,
it smell like feet? Like what? Feet and sweat and like mildew? Ew.
Right? Right? So when we are riding Splash Mountain for the first time together, John says to me, I love that smell.
Ew.
I'm like, what smell? Like the smell of mildew?
Right.
Like the smell of like old ride?
Right.
Okay, so the candle, I'm not even kidding you, like in the description, bromine water is one of the scents. But I'm telling you, it smells like the ride.
Oh, Lord.
So we lit it the other night, and Kit says, this smells just like the ride. And we're like, dude, you haven't been to Splash Mountain. But he's heard us say it a couple of times.
How cute and funny. Oh, what
Yeah.
a sweetheart.
They have, we bought one that smells like Rome burning. So if you ride Spaceship Earth, the big, the golf ball at Epcot, and it like goes through time of human development, there's one scene where Rome burns down. And they have that scent. And then we got another one that was the scent from Soarin' at Epcot, where you fly over like Fiji, and it kind of smells tropical.
Yeah, that one I could get into.
It's amazing. Like they did nail the smells, but bromine water.
That makes me think that they're like pumping chemicals into those rides so that you have that smell, and then they just took that same like combination and put it into some wax. Like that's what that.
I mean,
how else are you going to replicate it like that?
Like this candle company has nailed it, and they're not owned by Disney.
Weird. I mean, okay, so again, we always are like so different when it comes to these kinds of things, but my other obsession is our new website. I cannot stop messing with it. So if you didn't know,
go visit the website. It's super cute. She did a great job.
I did.
And all of our photos from our fun little photo shoot are on there.
Yeah, I need to make sure that I have all those loaded correctly that Katie did for us. So I went on and made a website, and you can find it at ckandgkpodcast.com. So that's our new website. That's my other obsession. And if you see like, wait, this didn't look like it did 15 minutes ago, that's because I'm probably in there tweaking things. So just, yeah, it's been fun to do. And it became my little like hyperfixation project fairly recently. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's cute. Any gems?
Awesome.
We've been talking for a long time.
Okay, so there's so many gems, right? There's so many. We saw Garth Brooks on his last ever stadium tour. It was amazing. As he's walking out of the arena, he looked right at Abigail, made eye contact with her, and pointed right at her.
That's amazing.
And we're like, Abby, please, like, take this memory to your grave. This is amazing.
That's amazing.
I am so jealous of you right now. Speaking of Abigail, I remembered something that I probably should have said on the show several weeks ago, but I'm going to say it now. Okay, so we went to New York earlier in the summer. As we are landing in New York City, Abigail, 10 years old, looks at me and says, do you think we'll see Tony Maselli?
She's 10.
If you're not laughing, it's because you don't know that Tony Maselli is on Who's the Boss?
Like, what?
A show that hasn't been on the air in like, what, 25 years? 30?
30, right? Oh my
But this is my kid.
I
So not only does she watch Who's the Boss, but she also has the sense of humor to ask, will we see Tony Maselli in New York?
Oh man, I love her so much. Why?
I know. I was like, you are hilarious. You are 35 right now, but you are hilarious.
She might even be older because Who's the Boss was on when we were little. Like, we were young, and we're banging down 40 at this point. So, oh man, that's hysterical. I adore her. Well, I have to really quickly give a little shout out to my mother-in-law because she listens to our show regularly. And she was talking to me about this last week sometime, and she just goes, I just feel like I'm getting such an insight into your life, and I really love it. And then she said, yeah, I know. So sweet, right? And then she goes, do you feel like you're funnier now than you were before the podcast started? And I was like, huh, I've always thought I'm kind of funny, like, moderately. So I don't think I could do stand up because too many of my jokes come from other people. but I do.
I did stand up in the 5th grade talent show.
Of course you did.
And my mom was petrified. She was like, I cannot believe that she's going to do this. She's so nervous. Like, no one's going to laugh at her jokes. She's going to look like an idiot up there. No, I killed.
Stand up.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not surprised. Stand up is like a level of bravery that I just don't have, right? Like I'm not.
Oh, I don't agree. I don't agree.
Oh,
I think you could nail it.
Well, we'll probably never
putting together a whole tour. I don't know. But one show, I think you could.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the jury's still out, but I said that out loud, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And I look over at my husband lovingly, and I'm like, I don't know. Do you think I'm funnier now than I was before the podcast started? And he goes, not even a moment's hesitation. Nope. Nope. And I was like, okay, well, ouch. That makes it sound like I'm not funny at all. And he was like, nope, she's the same. She's exactly the same. And I was just like,
exactly.
I had it just shut the conversation down completely. And I was like, no, wait, we can keep talking about me. I'm enjoying this praise.
You were talking about how funny I was.
Thank you to my husband for showing me all kinds of support for my hilariousness.
Okay, so here we go. I previewed this.
Yeah.
This is a story about my dad.
Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, my dad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's paint a picture.
Do it.
Okay. He is 66 years old, retired from a 26-year career in the Air Force, then went back to work as a civil servant, which he's still doing now. Okay. 40-something years he's worked for the U.S. government. Okay. Right. He's the guy. My mom swears she married him because he gets a 2-for-1 ticket into heaven.
Nice.
Okay. This is my dad. We're sitting around talking one day. And he says, oh, well, Bridezillas, I read about them all the time. And I said, what?
Yeah.
You read about Bridezilla all the time? And he goes, yeah. On Reddit, on that Am I the A-hole website.
He's reading that thread.
I'm like, wait.
The AITA.
AITA about Bridezillas. He goes, oh, yeah.
Hysterical.
Yeah, I'd love to read that.
How many 66-year-olds are on
66-year-old white guy.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing.
Straight-laced officer in the military. I just do not put this in the picture of my dad.
No.
You cannot. These do not compute.
No.
Come on. But he's like, oh, yeah, I'd love to read those.
I mean.
So then he starts to scroll through and read us a couple of stories out loud.
Yeah. I think at one point I had my family hooked on those texts from last night. Do you remember that website? Text from last night where it would be the most hysterical, insane things that people would send to one another, and it would just be so funny. And I don't know if I used to read it all the time, and I just one day stopped, but that's kind of how I picture my family if they were to get involved in something. But I don't see Reddit being something that they would be into, but that's really funny.
Oh,
I love it.
I used to love My Life is Average.
Yes. That was a good one.
This is people would be like, they were out of 2% milk, so I got 1%. My life is average.
Right there, you just described my stand-up show. That's what it would be. Is
right.
First I clean the pool, I balance the chemicals, and then I drop the jug of coffee on the floor. My life is average. That's exactly what my comedy would be. I have a cute story for you.
Okay, go for it.
So, we got these kittens at the beginning of June. And they are...
I know because I served as a character witness for you.
Yes, you did. Very thorough vetting process. I'm not even being sarcastic. This was not oh, no, she loves kittens. This is and as far as I know, she didn't, put them in a sack and leave them on the side of the road. It was very intense kinds of stuff.
They were how does she take her call?
She doesn't drink coffee. She drinks tea. Anyway, so we got these kittens. They're about 5 months now. This is about the time when kittens, just like puppies do, they lose their baby teeth and they get their big ones coming in. And so I've seen like a couple of little teeths on the floor, and I'm like,
oh my gosh, you have?
Yeah, I've seen them. So the other day,
I have never. I have had so many cats and dogs.
They usually just swallow
and I don't
them.
think I've ever seen their teeth.
Yeah,
they just swallow it. Yeah.
Or like you'll find it on the floor and you're just vacuuming. So like you'll never know that it just, came out. So I like was cleaning the bed, like I was changing the bedding or whatever, and I look on the bedding and there's like this tiny little like reddish smudge, and I was like, that looks like might be a little bit of like dried blood from something. And I had noticed that the kittens had been wrestling on the mattress earlier, and I was like, I wonder if maybe they just got a little rough. And then I see one of the kittens, and he's got this little like, again, spot of like old red stuff on his little hair, and I'm like digging around in there trying to see if he's okay, and he's fine. So I'm like, I wonder if someone lost a tooth when they were wrestling. And I'm based on where the spot was, I was guessing it was probably the other kitten who lost the
other
tooth.
cat. Yeah. Right.
So I'm like, I'm wondering, if that's what happened. And they're acting fine, no one's hurt, everyone's eating fine, like, whatever. So I move on, and then later on I'm in the kitchen and I was putting the sheets back on the bed and I find the tooth. And I was like, yeah, well, my theory was right. Somebody lost a tooth, and that's why Ty had a little bit of blood on him. He's all good. Everyone's fine. And Sam asks to see the tooth. And I show it to him, and he goes, oh, yay. That means he gets the tooth fairy. And it was the sweetest little thing. And I was like, he gets the tooth fairy. And the tooth fairy is a big deal. My son is 6 and he's already lost a whole mess of teeth. He has my, massive chiclet teeth growing into his sweet little face. So it's a big deal at our house. And, I'm extra and I do a few things to help the tooth fairy out. Right. So he thought that that's what was going to happen. And I was like, I'm not doing all that for a kitten. So
do the cats have tooth fairy?
Maybe the tooth fairy has a cat.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. So
our dentist has a door to the tooth fairy's house.
Really?
Yeah, and you can leave her thank you notes.
That's really nice.
At her door.
See, I think we have a male tooth fairy because we watched the Santa Claus 2.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the Molinator. He wants to be called the Molinator. Mm-hmm. So at our house, it's the Molinator. And the Molinator was so impressed by Sam's sweet little heart saying that Jack gets to have the tooth fairy that the Molinator wrote a little note and said, normally I don't come for kittens, but, you were very sweet and excited. And so I left the kittens a little treat but it was like the sweet, it was so cute.
See, they are always listening.
I know, it was so cute. That means he gets the tooth fairy. And it was like so happy. And it was like one of those moments where you're like, I wish I had recorded that because I would play it over and over again when I'm mad at you.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Our tooth fairy is clearly a chick because she brings glitter money.
Yes. Our Molinator brings what is available. So the glitter money doesn't happen at our house. So it's
normally low value bills that look as though they've been painted with eyeshadow.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
So they're like pink and shimmery.
Very nice. So we've got some life hacks. We've got some mind-blowing, easy life hacks for you guys for our season finale. Thank you for sticking with us as long as you have.
Okay, so I actually misinterpreted what we were discussing when we said mind-blowing facts.
Yes, all right.
I see the preview that you have put in the show notes, and yours seems intellectual in nature.
Not really.
No. Wait until you find out what, quote, my mind-blowing fact is.
Say it. I'm not, because this is what is going to just prove to our listeners that we clearly are not always playing with the full deck when it comes to what the other person is saying.
That's what this is. That's what this is. I am not playing with a full deck when it comes to you and I communicating or being a human.
Here's the thing is,
there is go ahead.
No, this is a function of both of us having ADHD, right? Like, we will read select parts of what the other person has put in a text and think we understand, and then come together and we're like, wait, oh, that's what you said. Oh, snap. So this is going to be really, really weird and fun. That's all I'm going to say about this.
This is good. Yeah. This is
all
good.
Right, go for it.
Okay, so there is a crime-fighting dog. Take a bite out of crime.
Wait, McGruff, right?
Okay, so I just found out a few weeks ago that his name is McGruff and not McGraw. Because McGruff has a dog barking sound in it, ruff, ruff.
Yes.
And that makes sense. I just thought he was McGraw, the crime-fighting dog.
Oh, my goodness. No, you didn't.
This is like, yes. He
was on commercials all the time when we were kids.
All the time. And I have that, what is it, the Mandela effect? Yeah. Like, I thought he was McGraw. Oh. McGraw, the crime-fighting dog. Take a bite out of crime.
That's hilarious.
With McGraw.
Oh, no.
This is like when I was 22 before I found out that the name of the drink is not Roman Coke.
Oh, no.
It's rum and Coke.
I would like a rum and Coke. I'm sorry, what?
Yes. Right?
After
it's
the
not a Roman Coke.
Summer has come. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. That's what that is.
Yes.
That is what that is.
McGruff.
I mean, yeah.
McGruff, because it has a dog sound in it.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
It's like a thing.
All right. Well, yeah, I took it as like, what's a piece of information that's going to blow someone's mind? And
not just your own.
Not just my own, but like, that's how I took this. So clearly we did not rehearse this. That said, here's my mind-blowing fact. Ready? Yes. Hamsters hibernate. Now, I say this.
MG.
I say this.
Like, hamsters are like real animals. We forget about that.
Here's the problem. This would have been a lot nicer to know 25 years ago. Because I think, I think I did something bad to my hamster. One day he was fine. The next day he was on his back with his legs up in the air, and I have no idea why. And I cried for hours over this hamster, and it could have been that he was hibernating. So I cannot take credit for this information. This information came from a really, really prominent TikToker whose name is, I'm going to say it wrong, but I'm going to try really, really hard. I looked everywhere to figure out how to pronounce it, but his name is Mamadou Ndiaye. You can find him.
That's how I would have said it.
You can find him on TikTok.
That's correct.
I don't know if it's correct.
Because I thought the dog's name was McGraw.
That's hilarious. His handle on TikTok is at MNDIAYE_97, and I'll link him on the show notes. He has the best animal facts. I love this guy. He's hilarious also. So he was just like, I think what he said about like y'all, he was like, y'all need to know this. Like you know hamsters hibernate, right? And then like my jaw drops open, and then he goes, how many people just figure out that they Ted Bundy'd their hamster? And I was like, oh my God, it wasn't that one. I don't know which one. Anyway, it was very funny. And so just so you know, if your hamster is fine 1 minute and then not fine the next day, like go put it in a warmer spot, because it could be just that it's cold and it's hibernating and it'll warm back up again and be fine. But I don't know if that's what happened with mine.
Okay. So I had a moment like this when I was in college. So, one of the classes I had to take was mammalogy.
Okay.
And we are talking about rabbits. Rabbits are not rodents, they are lagomorphs. Lagomorphs have a 2-stage digestion process. That means that they eat their poop.
Ew.
To get the nutrients out. When the professor is describing this, I am starting to cry. And I am trying not to let the class see, but I am crying. And there are sniffles and maybe a couple sobs out loud. Because when I was in middle school, my dad and I built this very elaborate rabbit hutch that made sure that none of the poop stayed in the rabbit's house.
Oh, no!
And my rabbit died!
Oh, no! It needed the
So here I am. I'm like, yes, I'm like 20 years old. Oh my God, I killed my rabbit!
Oh, no! Yeah, that's how I felt when I was looking at that video. Like, oh my God, I killed my hamster! And I was so
Right. It's exactly. At least you weren't in a room of 150 people and a professor.
Oh my gosh.
Dr. Honeycutt. World's leading expert on naked mole rats.
Ew.
Those are the things I remember from college.
Yeah.
That and it's rum and
Right,
Coke,
there you
not Roman.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, now that we're done with horrible animal facts, do you have any like life hacks that we can use to help us as we move forward with our, I don't know,
Okay,
anything?
so also life hacks.
Yes.
We are thinking of things that have just become part of our life.
Yes.
And will make yours easier.
Yes. Absolutely.
And like I have said on several episodes before, we are the how-to show that saves you the embarrassment we had to endure. Okay? So I have locked my keys in my car multiple times.
Me too.
Okay? We've done this. My hack is anytime you leave your car running, roll the window down.
Because, yeah, you need to do that.
Now it's not so much, right? Like most modern cars now, it's hard to lock the keys in the car. But I learned years ago when I locked my keys in my car and it wasn't in a parking spot. It was in the middle of the parking lot.
Oh, no.
Yes. So I had to pay for both a locksmith and a tow truck. Because the locksmith would not come at night. So I had to have my car towed into a parking spot so that the next morning I could then have a locksmith come and unlock
That's
it.
the worst.
It was awful. And I was at a teacher training.
That's
It was an overnight, like a long week camp. I was the chick who locked her keys in her car.
So I did that with my 2 kittens in the car on one of the days that I was student teaching. And I was late for school. It was a freezing cold morning. I had the heat blasting in the car. And my car was the kind that had the windows that locked automatically. And I always like propped the door open because the door would lock.
Right.
And it just latched. It just clicked one morning. And I went, oh my God. And I had to like wake up the apartment manager. My phone was in the car. So I was like extra messed up. So thankfully I had Bryce's number memorized. And I was like, get over to my apartment right now. And they wouldn't let him in. Like I had to be the one to say he can go in because he had a key.
My gosh.
It was a mess. But yeah, I get it. The teacher thing it was a mess. That's a good idea though. Smart.
Windows down.
Okay, so I have like a few different hacks, but we both know that one of my things is like hair and skin. Like I love learning about this kind of stuff. So and I think we've talked about my first one, which is for hair. Put your dry shampoo in your hair at night. Like, if you know you're not going to wash your hair, you know it's not going to happen in the morning, just put your dry shampoo in at night. And you don't need a lot. Shake up your dry shampoo, put it down your part, and then put it on, like, either side of your part. Like, pick up the hair, part it on the side, put it there. Pick up the hair, part it on the side, put it there. And then stop and go to bed. And it will rub into your scalp and look really, really good. I promise you won't have, like, streaks of dry shampoo in your hair in the morning. So that's my first thing. And I'm going to say, if you are someone who sleeps with your hair in a bun at night, stop doing that. You need to stop doing it right now. Because if you're doing that, your hair is breaking in your sleep. That's why when you take it out of the scrunchie, you have all those pieces of hair. That's not hair from your scalp. That's hair that's breaking off in your hair tie.
Oh my gosh.
So don't sleep with your hair in a bun. And if you're doing that, your hair is going to thin out and it's going to stress your hairline. So here's this thing. I have this thing on my neck and it looks like a gaiter, like one of those, mask things that you put over your nose. but it's actually for your head. And I'm going to take my headphones off and I'm going to show you how it works. This is what you want if you're someone who needs to have your hair off your face.
Guys, this is like live reaction, like for real, for real.
Yes.
I did not know what she was going to do.
Hold on. I'm going to show you right now.
I mean, obviously, she did not know I was going to talk about McGraw. So.
No, I never know. Okay, so I'm taking this thing that looks like a gator, and it's kind of like a headband. And I'm going to put it over my head like this. And it's really, really long, and it's keeping all of my hair in it. And this way, I'm not putting stress on my hair, on my hairline, but it's still going to keep the hair off of my neck, because that's what drives me crazy when I'm sleeping, is I don't like when my hair is on my neck, and I have shorter hair, so it's always like resting right there. But it's not a
and you got this girl with the pearl earring look going on.
Like, I'm not going to deal with the nightmare that is having itchy neck and hair on my face and all of my like skin products at night. So that's my first one.
That's amazing. Yeah. I gave you feedback and you didn't hear me.
No, I didn't hear you
because you had your headphones on. Yes, I know. I said you look like the girl with the pearl earring.
Yes, that is what it looks like. It's totally what it looks like.
Wait, why didn't she laugh at my joke? Oh, wait.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Because she didn't hear it.
Nope.
Because it was funny.
It was funny. I actually really liked that book. Anyway, the other thing I was going to say is, if you're someone who's struggling with braids, you can't braid your hair. 2 things. Stop looking in the mirror while you're braiding. You don't need to look in the mirror, because it's going to mess you up and you're going to be like, wait, am I moving my hand this way? No, just don't look in the mirror while you're braiding. I actually usually like turn around away from the mirror when I'm braiding my hair. And you can also, like, if you're wanting to do it like a French braid, you can take a little, like one of those tiny clear hair ties, and you can grab that middle piece and use a tiny clear hair tie as your like middle section, so it doesn't get a weird bump or move over in a place where you don't want it to go. And then braid that. Yeah, and braid with that as your middle strand, and then braid, and then you just cut the little like thing out if it's not covered up. You can just, I mean, those are super inexpensive. Just cut it out.
Oh my gosh, no.
Right?
They're one-time use in my family.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, you can do a braid with 2 strands. You just need to take like a big chunk and another big chunk, like make them equal sized. And then there's a chunk in the front, and you're going to like make a hole with the hair, pull the back one through. It's kind of like a topsy tail.
Right.
And you're going to keep doing that over and over again. And it will look like a braid, but it's only 2 strands of hair. And I realize that what I just said makes no sense. So go to the show notes, go to our website. I have a video linked for how to do it in the blog, and it's genius and it works. I've verified all of these things. I've done them myself and they work. I promise.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Hair 101. You're welcome.
You are welcome.
Mm-hmm. All right. You have another one?
Okay. So my next one is both amazing and lazy.
Okay.
I often have wrinkles in my clothes.
Yes.
And I am not a wrinkle releaser type person.
No.
Because I am not good at making a grocery list. So I haven't bought it in eons because I forget it.
Yeah.
When I'm making the grocery list.
Yeah.
And so if it's on the list, it doesn't get purchased. And too bad.
Right.
So here's what you do. Wet a washcloth. Throw it in the dryer with the item for 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, just
the
2 or 3?
steam from the the steam from the wet washcloth will release the wrinkles, and you don't have to turn the dryer all the way up. You can leave it on medium. Your item is not going to shrink, and it will steam out. If the wrinkles are very deep, you might need more than 3 minutes. You might need a cup of coffee. But by the time you're done with your coffee, your item is ready to wear.
That's a good idea. I think
Some
I've
people
seen
say put
ice cubes. Yeah.
I'm not putting ice. I'm just wetting a washcloth. It's so much faster.
And I feel like with ice, like you're going to, it could be loud, right? You can hear it like clacking around the inside of your machine for a little while. But also like I don't know how, something about that always like feels weird to me to put like just ice cubes in. Like they don't say how many, you know what I mean? But a wet washcloth, like that's a really easy one.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be dripping, right? You wring it out. It's just damp.
Okay.
And you toss it in the dryer with whatever it is that you need to release the wrinkles from.
Smart.
And if you're like me, it's pretty much every morning. No big deal.
I have another hack for that, and I was actually just talking to our friend of the show, Ariella, about this, but I do a load of laundry every day, and I have a day of the week for when I do things, because otherwise it won't get done. And there are days where I get behind for sure. But like,
right.
if it's Wednesday is towels day. So I won't do anything else on that day unless I'm behind on old laundry. But no, like that's the only way that I'll get it done. My other hack. This applies to anything that is inflatable and large that you can't just like blow up with that, you know, it's going to take too much effort for you to blow it up. Right. Exactly. Right.
Unless you're like me, I was a trumpet player. I have incredible lungs.
Why am I not even the slightest bit surprised that trumpet is the instrument that you played? Not even a little bit.
Did you know I was also a drum major?
Again.
That's like headbander.
No, I know what that is. Oh, goodness. So this is just inflatable anything. You take like a plastic bottle and you just cut it in half and you have the top of the plastic bottle. And you're going to put the like mouth of the plastic bottle on the part of the inflatable item that needs to be blown up. So the connection where the air goes in is where you're going to take the bottle and you're going to put it into that connector. And then you're going to go get your hair dryer and you're going to take your hair dryer and put it in the open end of the bottle and you're going to hold your hair dryer up against the open end of the bottle and do it with the cold setting so that you're not like melting the plastic. But yeah, it'll blow up the item for you. So if you don't have one of those fancy schmancy like blow up item things, you don't need to spend a whole bunch of money on it. Just take the top of the bottle, cut it off, and then put that up against the inflatable item and then you can blow up anything you need to.
That is amazing. Especially if you have a hairdryer where the heating element has gone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's normally when I have to replace my blow dryer is when it doesn't get hot anymore. That's a really great way to give that blow dryer another life.
And you're not just putting it in the garbage. So.
Right.
Easy one.
Speaking of garbage.
Yes.
Speaking of garbage. Okay. So my husband hates this. I love it.
Okay.
So that right there is a hack if you are one of these people who still thinks that making fun of your spouse is funny. Like, I know that style of humor has gone out. Like, that's supposed to be like boomer humor or whatever. But remember, I'm Gen X, and I still think it's funny to make fun of your spouse.
Wait, hold on. You know what I learned the other day? This is totally random, but I learned it. So the Addams family, yes? They are supposed to be like the complete antithesis of like the Cleavers, right? Complete opposite of the stereotypical family. So
Right.
You know that Mr. Addams Gomez adores his wife, right?
He worships Morticia.
Yes, she is his queen. Do you know why? Because the opposite of that is to make fun of your wife and treat her like crap, and that's why he does that. That's the whole reason. Boom.
Oh my God.
There's a mind blown for you, right? Because
right?
And like she's not like she loves her kids, right? Obviously, but like she's not,
but she has her own identity outside of just being mom.
Exactly. She's not as motherly as you would expect. And Wednesday is a complete psycho because she's not this like sweet little angelic girl that people were all trained to be. She's just her like it. That's the reason. But that's why Gomez is. Anyway, I just.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's related to making fun of your spouse humor.
No. So. He's and they're madly in love with each other.
Exactly.
Right? They're not
right. They're not ambivalent towards one another. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Anyhow,
your husband hates it. Moving on. We go.
Okay.
Going.
He hates this.
Yes.
But I love it. Okay. So take a plastic grocery bag.
Yes.
Line a bowl with the grocery bag. Mm-hmm. And leave it on the counter while you cook.
I do this.
Yes.
I do this with compost bags all the time. I put it because who's that chef?
So if you are in a place that composts, we are not.
Yeah.
Our city does not compost, but our city does let us throw away 6 bulk items every week without making a reservation.
Amazing.
So we don't get to compost, but we do get to throw away mattresses.
Yeah.
So whatever.
There you go. There's that.
But I do a garbage bowl.
Yep.
It's so great.
Yep. And that way.
And he's like, why can't you throw it away in the garbage can? Why you got to start these rogue trash bags? I love the rogue trash bag. I love it.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Who's the famous chef lady who also has
Rachel Ray.
Yes, thank you. She does that. She has a garbage bowl that's like just supposed to be your garbage bowl, but I was like, I don't know, watch the garbage bowl. It has stuff in it. So I actually just line the garbage bowl with the compost bin. That's genius. I love that. It makes cleanup so much easier. And you're not walking back and forth.
And you're not walking back and forth.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And our trash can is hidden, right?
Yes.
It's in a cabinet. And so I'm not constantly going to the cabinet, opening, closing. And it's not at dog height.
Right.
It's on the counter.
Right.
Which, the counter is kind of Bagwell's height, but she has to at least put her front feet on the counter to get something off of it.
Which is a clear sign that you're like, you can easily stop that.
I'm yelling at
while
her
you're in the kitchen. Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Smart. Okay. So I also have kitchen hacks. So,
oh, great.
Yeah. One of them is picture like a grocery bag with the handles in your brain, right? Let's say you have a bag of like frozen tater tots. You're going to cut that frozen tater tot bag open as though it were like a grocery bag. And you're going to cut down like a U shape in that frozen tater tot bag. Because that way, when you want to close it up, you can just take the two edges and tie them together like a bag. You're welcome.
That's amazing.
You're welcome. I have a video about that.
Did you make that up?
No, I did not make that up. I'm not that smart. But
oh, too bad.
I know, right? I'm totally doing it. No, I'm not taking credit for any of these. I have the people who showed me how to do these. Their TikTok videos are going to be linked on our website, on our blog post. Go find them. They're amazing. The other one that I have is, and this one I have done in the past, and it works. So if you have, you know how Tupperware or like, maybe not Tupperware, but like any sort of storage container, if you put spaghetti sauce in it, it is stained.
Oh, it's orange for life.
Oh, yeah. You're done. Not with this. I'm not saying I can remove old stains. However, I can prevent new ones from happening. You're going to take that container. You're going to put a little bit of water in it with a paper towel. Like, it doesn't need to be balled up. It'll ball itself up. Doesn't work. And then you're going to put a little bit of soap on it. It's kind of like the blender trick where you put some soap and water in there and then you run the blender and it'll clean itself. You're going to do that. And then you're going to put the lid on that food storage container. So there's soap, water, and a paper towel in the food storage container. And then when it's sealed, you're going to shake it a significant amount.
Like a Polaroid picture?
Yes, like a Polaroid picture. And then when you open it up, the paper towel will have the staining on it, but the Tupperware container itself will not.
This is witchcraft.
Okay, so that's how you get the spaghetti stains off of your Tupperware or whatever your food storage containers are. It doesn't matter. Okay,
amazing.
This is the last one that I saw, and I thought this was genius. I am someone who I've never, people can like peel an entire orange in like one thing, like one peel. Have you ever been able to do that? Or like
your mom could peel an apple in one long curly strip. Name the movie.
I don't know it.
It's Sleepless in Seattle.
Is it? Oh, man. I need to rewatch that.
When Jonah wakes up in the middle of the night and he's having a nightmare and he says, I'm forgetting mom. That's the first thing that Sam tells Jonah about his mom.
I need to remember.
And it just shows how much he loved her, right?
What a small, like, weird detail. I love it.
Right?
I'm scared.
And you see in the movie when Meg Ryan is up late at night, she sits down and she starts peeling
the apple. Yeah.
She cannot do it in one long curly strip. No, but that is what makes her perfect.
Right.
Because she's not trying to replace the mom.
Right. Very sweet. I love that part. Okay, so there's people who can do that. I've never been that kind of person. I don't like how it gets underneath my fingernails, and I just
I don't even get oranges anymore because I don't like peeling them.
No, it's in paint. But
is that wrong? Like,
no, I don't think it's wrong.
Am I going to get scurvy?
I don't know. How much vitamin C are you ingesting in other ways?
I mean, is there vitamin C in margarita mix?
Maybe. Yes, depends on if it's like a citrus blend.
That sounds fancy. Triple sec, right?
I don't know. All I know is I have a lot of emergency every single day because it's just the habit I picked up while teaching and I haven't let it go. So,
okay,
I saw this
with a splash of cranberry.
Yes, exactly. Oh gosh, how well you know me. Okay, so I saw this and I thought, I might actually eat oranges again. This person took their orange, think like navel side up, right? Like stand it up the correct way, if there is one. And then you're going to...
The correct way, she says. The correct way.
I don't know. It's an orange. It's a circle. It's a sphere, if you will. Ish. You're going to cut it like horizontally through the middle, like the equator.
But not the prime meridian.
No, not the prime meridian, which is crooked.
Okay.
Ish. No, I'm thinking of the
International Dateline.
Yeah. Social studies teacher, get it together. Anyway, so after you cut it in half, you're going to have like a northern hemisphere and a southern hemisphere. And you're going to take that orange and it's going to look like a bowl. And then you're going to flip it inside out. And all
No,
of
you're
this,
not.
yes, you are.
That works?
Yeah. It works. And then you're going to have all these little sections that just come off really easily and you don't have to peel it. It just comes right off with the pith is all gone and everything. You just right there. And little bite-sized
Like an
pieces.
umbrella.
Yes.
That got blown by the wind.
Yes. And all the little
You just
orange.
flip it inside
Yep,
out.
You're going to flip it inside out.
Okay.
And all the little
I am
orange
going to
pieces-
buy an orange.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy an orange.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and I have the video, and it's on our blog post on our website. You'll be able to see it. It works, and I am like, go get me something right now that I can use to try this out. Because I would eat oranges if it was not as messy, and if it was like, I don't like even the sections. Even if you
No.
bite a section, it's still all messy. I can do tangerines just fine, but I still don't like this.
I like those cuties.
Yeah, exactly.
What fruit is that?
Tangerines.
That's a clementine?
Clementines.
Tangerine?
There it is. It's a clementine. I love those.
Clementine?
No,
How do you
not
call it?
clementine. No, it's a clementine. But I thought that was genius because I don't eat oranges either because they're messy and I don't like it.
Right.
But this would mean I don't have to worry about being messy and I might actually not get scurvy because vitamin C.
Right.
There you go.
Vitamin C.
That's my other hack.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I've been invited to host another podcast.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Tell me about this.
Will I be back next season? You'll have to listen.
Oh my
to find
God.
out.
Oh, you are a mess. But I love you.
Y'all, rate us, review us, tell us you love us, share with your friends, do the things.
Go find us on our website, ckandgkpodcast.com. We're going to be taking the next 2 weeks for Jenny to get situated at school. So we will be back the day after Labor Day with our next episode. And in the meantime, we'll try and post some goodies for next season. We have an updated logo coming. We have more stuff on the website to come. We are about to release our Patreon. There's a whole bunch of things that are going on that we're in like the process of doing that we're going to take these next 2 weeks to figure out for all of you and have everything set up so that when you rejoin us the day after Labor Day, you are looking at a new and improved CK and GK 2.0.
CKN question mark.
If you leave me on this show after all the things, I will throw things at you.
Dun, dun, dun.
She's not leaving. I promise.
I'm not.
No.
Make good choices.
And use your gift cards and go on TikTok and learn things because it's fun. Okay, bye. Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.